You're in your late 30s, or maybe your 40s. You've always known your body, your cycles, your moods. But lately, things feel different. Your once predictable cycle has become completely erratic. You're hit with waves of anxiety that seem to come out of nowhere. You're tired all the time, no matter how much you sleep. And speaking of sleep, it's a mess of night sweats and 3 a.m. wake-up calls. You feel like you're too young for menopause, but you know, deep down, that something profound has changed. Welcome to perimenopause. It is, without a doubt, the most misunderstood, under-discussed, and emotionally disruptive hormonal transition in a woman's life. And today, we're finally going to talk about what is really happening inside your body. First, let's be clear. Perimenopause is not a disease. It is a natural, albeit often turbulent, transition phase that leads up to menopause. Menopause is officially defined as the point in time 12 months after your final menstrual period. Perimenopause is the entire journey to get there, a journey that can last anywhere from a few years to over a decade for some women. The fundamental process at play is that your ovaries are beginning the long process of retirement. The communication lines between your brain's command center, the pituitary gland, and your ovaries start to get faulty and erratic, leading to a hormonal state that can only be described as chaotic. The star player in this chaos is estrogen. Many women believe that estrogen simply begins a slow, steady decline into menopause, but that is not what happens in perimenopause. Instead, think of it as a violent roller coaster. Your estrogen levels fluctuate wildly, with days of soaring, sky-high estrogen, followed by days where it crashed to the floor. On your high estrogen days, you'll experience symptoms of estrogen dominance, severe bloating, painful breast tenderness, extremely heavy bleeding, and intense irritability. Then, just as you get used to that, your estrogen will plummet. On these low estrogen days, you'll be hit with a completely different set of symptoms, the classic hot flashes, drenching night sweats, vaginal dryness, low mood, and crippling brain fog. This is the perimenopausal roller coaster, and it's what makes this phase so uniquely challenging. While estrogen is on its roller coaster, another key hormone, progesterone, is on a different trajectory. Progesterone is often the first hormone to show a consistent decline. This happens because ovulation, the event that triggers progesterone production, becomes less regular. You may start having anovulatory cycles where you bleed but no egg was actually released. Without ovulation, the corpus luteum doesn't form, and without the corpus luteum, there is no significant progesterone production for that cycle. Progesterone is our great calming, soothing, anti-anxiety hormone. Its steady decline is what leads to the signature perimenopausal symptoms of increased anxiety, insomnia, and initially, shorter, more frequent cycles. This lack of progesterone also means the high estrogen days feel even more intense, as there's no progesterone there to balance or oppose it. Meanwhile, testosterone, our hormone of vitality, energy, and libido, also begins a slow and steady decline during this time. This can manifest a loss of motivation or zest for life, difficulty maintaining muscle mass even with regular exercise, and a noticeably lower sex drive. While this decline is more gradual, it significantly contributes to the overall feeling of depletion that many women experience. Your brain, all the while, is trying desperately to manage this situation. As it senses the ovaries are becoming less responsive, your pituitary gland starts to shout louder to try and get them to work. It does this by releasing more and more follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH. It's screaming "make an egg," but the ovaries are less able to listen. This is why a high FSH level is one of the key clinical markers used to identify that a woman in the perimenopausal transition. These hormonal shifts are directly responsible for the symptoms that can make you feel like you're losing your mind. The hot flashes and night sweats are caused by crashing estrogen levels wreaking havoc on your brain's thermostat, the hypothalamus. The brain fog and memory lapses happen because estrogen is crucial for neurotransmitter function and cognitive clarity. The anxiety and mood swings are a direct result of falling calming progesterone amidst wildly fluctuating estrogen, and the frustrating weight gain, especially around the midsection, is caused by the shifting hormone ratios, combined with a natural increase in insulin resistance during this time, which signals your body to store fat more readily. But you are not powerless in this transition. This is not an ending. It is a metamorphosis that demands a new level of self-awareness and radical self-care. The first step is to track your symptoms and your cycles, so you can begin to understand your own unique pattern. The single most important action you can take is to master your blood sugar. Eating meals rich in protein, healthy fats, and fiber stabilizes your insulin and cortisol, which takes a huge amount of stress off your already taxed system. Prioritizing strength training is non-negotiable to maintain muscle and bone density. And aggressively managing stress through mindfulness and gentle movement becomes more important than ever before. Understanding what is happening to your hormones is the first and most critical step to reclaiming your power. Perimenopause is a challenging journey, but it is also an invitation to listen to your body on a deeper level, to nourish it more intentionally, and to build a foundation of health that will carry you into a vibrant and powerful second half of life.